Good, everybody? Was good. Yeah, we apologize for our lateness, our tardiness, but we are here, guys. We're here with a brand spanking new one for your head top. What up, Mav fans? What up, MFFLs? What up, Glow Yard Gang? Welcome to a brand spanking new edition of We Talk Mavs here on the Glow Mavs production. Of course, you guys already know it is your boy Rail, and joining me is the man rocking the black on black on black. Hey, and it's my boy King. What's up, man?
Nothing much, brother. Sorry, everybody, for the tardiness. Was mostly my problem. I was setting my stuff back up. Everything was disconnected. I had to connect everything again. I forgot about it. But just to let you guys know, if you didn't know and you're not able to see our pretty faces on YouTube, we are available on every major streaming platform that you could find us on. Basically, well, find yourself listening to. And also, I wanted to give a special shout out. I know Raul didn't tell me to do this, but to Melissa. She is the first person that actually donated. So that was awesome. Actually, we saw that. So we just wanted to give her a shout out. We probably won't give everybody a shout out, but just wanted to give her one for being the first person. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Melissa. I know you're not a Mavs fan. You just enjoy our content. We definitely appreciate you joining the Glow Gang. I'm sorry, Glow Yard Gang. Glow
Absolutely.
Yard Gang. It's gonna roll off the tongue one day, King. I'm gonna get it, man. I promise I'm gonna get it. But like King said, guys, you guys aren't able to watch us on here on YouTube. You guys can always follow us on our podcast. On different podcast streaming services, guys. We're also in podcast form. And like he said, if you guys want to donate to the channel, we got the Cash App down here. It's the $ We Talk Mavs on Cash App. If you guys want to donate to the channel, definitely would be much appreciated. Also, if you guys are into Mav content, God, we got you right here on the Glow Mavs production YouTube channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys, if you enjoy the content. All right, King, man. We're gonna have an interesting one today, man. There's something in my eye right now, man. I don't know what is going on. I promise I'm not crying, King. I'm not crying, man.
Sure, they got you. ESPN got you.
Yeah, ESPN got me teared up a little bit, man. Not in a good way. So listen, this is gonna be a little Vince session today, y'all. So if you haven't seen the thumbnail, I think you guys know what's about to go down. So Tim, uh, Bontemps,
Bontemps. Hmm.
Bontemps, thank you. Have made some comments on a couple of videos here. We're gonna play the videos for you guys, of course. There's two videos that we're gonna have, and they're about 2 minutes long, guys. So kind of bear with us on the length of the videos, but we're gonna play them here. And then once we see the videos, we're gonna go ahead and give y'all our opinions on it, man. It's yeah, ESPN strikes again, man. Like I said, y'all know how I feel about ESPN, man. It is what it is. But here's the first. Let's go ahead and get in the first video here, King, and then we'll play it, and we'll give our overall reaction of both of them after we play both of them. So here's the first one here.
Compliment. Yes. So let's get to the teams that were not compliments, the Mavs and the Lakers. So let's start with Dallas. Why did we end up, because we had Dallas in a different tier initially. Why did we end up putting Dallas here?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, I think we couldn't determine which of the tiers they belonged in. Are they trying to win a championship over the next 5 seasons? Is it just playoff success when you let Jalen Brunson go and get nothing in return for him in free agency?
Yeah, there's the reason. That's the reason why they were in another tier. When you let Jalen Brunson walk in free agency and you get nothing in return for him, it's hard to say you're all in on anything because teams generally just don't let their second best player walk out the door. And while, the Mavericks said whatever, the Mavericks could have paid him enough to keep him and they chose not to. Whether that was the right move or not, we'll see in a couple of years. Dallas would say, we're holding our powder here for a bit. We didn't need to overpay this guy. We're going to have max cap space in a couple of years. We can add some pieces down the road around Luka. Maybe they'll be right. We've seen, though, over the past decade that Dallas has tried over and over again to use cap space to get players, and it has not worked over and over and over again. So, we'll see what they ultimately decide to do. The other thing I'll point out is the Jalen Brunson contract is going to look pretty good to me in a couple of years. That contract is descending. The salary cap is increasing pretty significantly. Like, that's not going to look like a bad deal 2 years. I don't think it's a bad deal now, and it's really not going to look like a bad deal a couple of years from now. So, if I'm Dallas and I'm sitting there and, they just signed Tim Hardaway a year ago, who is not as good of a player as Jalen Brunson, and probably a big reason why they couldn't afford to re-sign Jalen Brunson. it's not great. So that's ultimately what pushed us to have him in this group, as opposed to obviously having Luka's great, but you can't say to me, you can't say you're on a championship now and over the next 5 years if you're probably a play-in tournament team to me right now, or at least more likely to be that than the top 4 seed. And on top of that, you let your second best player leave and don't get anything back for
him. All right, that was video 1. Let's get into video 2, King.
Would argue they're all in on winning a championship in the next 5 years. That's what their argument would be. But we've talked about their off season a lot. It wasn't a step in the right direction. They felt like the number for Brunson got too high, and we don't know what they would have had to put on the table to keep him. They might have had to max him. They weren't willing to do that. So yeah, they are kind of stuck in the middle. But again, I think their deal is they would rather keep some flexibility, kind of be patient than make a panic move. We'll see how it plays out. I think we all understand when you have a superstar of Luka's caliber, his 4-year Supermax extension's kicking in because the 5th year is a player option. So, the clock is ticking.
Well, and again, to be clear on that tier, it's to win. It's being all in on a title this year and the next 5.
Okay.
And the Mavs, I think it got shortened a little bit online. And the Mavs, they're not a championship team this year. They're probably a play-in team this year. So
yeah, we'll see. The play-in might be.
I don't know if a team
harsh,
with Luka on is a play-in team.
Yeah, that might be, especially Luka, who.
Let's just go through it real quick. Phoenix, Memphis, Clippers, Warriors, Wolves.
Okay.
5.
I mean, is it? Hold on. Phoenix,
Denver.
the Phoenix team that the Mavericks beat by 197 points in Game 7, and then it's had nothing but drama since then. Phoenix team.
You're
just assuming.
They were 15 wins better last year, I think. Are they going to? Has that gap gotten smaller this offseason?
Yeah, I think it has. Also, I think when you're looking at last season, the Mavericks sucked for the first 2.5 months for a variety of reasons. One of which was that Luka weighed 260 some odd pounds. Luka's going to be playing Eurobasket for Slovenia, basically leading right up into training camp.
Yep.
Now you can worry about wear and tear, or you can say, hey, he ain't weighing 260. He probably going to report to camp in the 240s this year.
That's certainly
last
the
time
argument.
He did that was the only time he's done that. Was his second year when he made the leap from, wow, what a spectacular rookie season, to holy crap, this is a top 5 player in the league. If Luka can make a leap, I don't think you can cross the Mavericks off the list of potential home court advantage in the first round teams in the West.
That's definitely the pro Dallas argument.
Well, again, when Luka's in shape, the Mavericks have been really damn good.
No, I'm not saying that facetiously. That's, if you're making an argument for Dallas, that's the argument, that Luka's going to be able to carry them. Those top 6 teams in the West are really.
Well, King, there's a ton to take out of this, man. It's a ton to take out of this. Of course, probably like everybody else here in the Glow Yard gang have seen this video and I've dissected it and all that stuff, man. And I got a whole lot to talk about at these 2 videos that we just saw here. Shout out to Tim, big man, for kind of making sense on that video, by the way. What you think, man? Let me get your opinion on it before I go in on
mine. It seems like, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not the biggest fan of Tim Bontemps. Not because of him not being a respected guy, but he's not a big Maverick believer. He hasn't been for a while now. It seems like whenever they have a conversation or topics between them 3, Brian Windhorst, Tim McMahon, and Tim Bontemps, he's always the one that's going in on the Mavs, as you just saw in the video. So I kind of understand it. When I step out of it and step out of being a Mav fan, it's the same old Mavs in a way. So it's kind of like he's expressing the extreme negative side of the situation of what can happen. But at the same time, I feel like he's ignoring the positive sides as well. And he even said it towards the end. He said he's not being facetious or whatever. He's trying to, Luka taking the next step and all is the big Dallas argument and all that could be had. I think I said it last show, though. The main thing I take away from all of this is that the media really, I don't think really sees Christian Wood as something as big as maybe we see him as being. And even Tim McMahon, I just don't feel like they talk about him enough. Like they don't feel like that. And I mean, maybe they're right. Maybe he isn't. Maybe we're just thinking he's bigger or he's better than what he is. But I do know that the media will take a major hit. I know you already talked about you don't like the media, but even like a Tim McMahon or so, if Christian Wood has a major like season this year, like they've all seen the league. Their job is to watch the league. They should know what guys are, how good guys are. It shouldn't matter if a guy's on a losing team or a winning team. These guys are reporters and analysts that go to games, that go to practices, that see all this type of stuff. So I just know if he makes a major impact, I'm going to question a lot of these guys and what they actually know about basketball, like a lot of guys already do. But as I said, I do understand him saying it's the same old Mavs. Guys don't usually come. We are missing another ball handler, as we always say. JB is big. He's the second best player. We said it's not even the fact that, the Mavericks were going into the luxury tax. It's like as we said, it's better to go on a luxury tax with Jalen Brunson than to go on a luxury tax without Jalen Brunson, losing them for nothing.
Yeah, and, justify you being in a luxury tax.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not justifying it right now because they lost their guy. So we're missing a piece of the puzzle. I do understand that. A lot of guys don't believe at this current rate or this current level, we're a championship level team. I understand that as well. So I do understand bits and pieces of it, but I feel like they're disrespecting the Mavs a little too much. Tim McMahon threw it in as far as Luka. You having Luka, you shouldn't be a play-in guy. Like you got to put respect in that guy's name and what he can do. And that we started 16 and 18 last year and still ended with over 50 wins. So he threw that good point out as well. Phoenix Suns, Tim's talked about Phoenix like they were a major problem, and it's like, why don't they have any issues? Why aren't you talking about their issues the same way you're talking about the Mavericks? They have the same team from last year that lost in the second round or whatever, that the Mavericks beat them, as you said, with 14 more wins. So if they didn't get any better, basically they kept the same team. Why would the Mavericks be afraid of them? But yeah, man, it's the Mavericks. Like until we change or until someone comes or until we get to another level, everybody, this is that Dirk Nowitzki. You remember this with Dirk. You remember nobody believed Dirk could do it. You remember we went through years where everybody just talked and said, why do you keep this guy? It's foolish. And it's not even why do we keep Luka. It's just they don't believe in the Maverick organization. And I understand the track record is what it is, but it's a new regime, as we always talk about. So they should give that a different respect as well. But it's ESPN, man. You tell me all the time, bro, you don't even watch it anymore. So it is what it is. What do you expect?
King, you do a whole lot nicer than me, man. Like I said, it's a whole lot I took out of this. I don't even know where to start. So, let me start by saying this. Like you said, there were some points that he hit. I do agree. We've talked about it on this show ad nauseum to the point that the people who watch this show got tired of us talking about it and was throwing us under the bus and running our name through the mud. And we talked about the fact that Jalen Brunson not being on this team right now, man, is going to hurt this team. It's a glaring hole that he's constantly he's basing his whole entire opinion off of that one move. Yeah. That means that's how important this is. We've talked about this before. We also talked about the fact that now I didn't know this. I didn't know that Jalen Brunson's contract was in descending order. Yeah. That makes me even more mad, King, because he also said in that video is something that we touched on a million times. His contract also being in descending order is going to look like chump change in the next couple years. Yep. And that's the part that makes me mad too, man. It's just like, you let this guy go for nothing. Like you said, we did. We let him go for nothing. You let him go for nothing. His contract's going to look like chump change in the next couple years. Yep. And the fact that what he brought to this team is going to be a glaring hole on this team. We talked about this in Najee. I think every video since free agency started, we've talked about this. Yep. And those are the three things I agree with them on. Now, his overall assessment of it, I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, what was one of our main issues in the playoffs last year?
Rebounding, just big guys, anything in the middle.
What did we show up this summer?
Everything in the middle.
Now, listen, when you don't have certain things, you adjust. Yeah. We don't have an extra ball handler, so you're going to have to adjust. Now that you have more size, more capable size, you adjust accordingly. You're not going there with the same mind frame of we're going to play the exact same way we did before we lost Jalen Brunson. If you're a smart coach, you wouldn't play like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that part. So then another part is, like you said, we talk about this ad nauseum, man. You watch this kid. We watch this kid every day. I'm talking about Luka. We watch this kid every day. We've seen his growth. We see what he can do. We see how he carries his team. And you steady disrespecting him by saying it's a playing team.
Yeah.
Even when Luka wasn't good, he wasn't a playing team. I mean, back before that, he was a playing team. So I don't understand where you're getting this playing team thing from. So he named off certain teams above us, right? Like you said, Phoenix. Who did Phoenix add this summer? Take your time and think about that. Who did they add this summer?
No one.
Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but did Chris Paul get younger?
Not at all.
Oh, he didn't. Okay. So then, so you signed DeAndre Ayton back, a guy who was wishy-washy and showed up when he wanted to show up. The same guy that the coach questioned, did he want to play? Now, yeah, y'all signed him back. But what's to say that there's still not animosity there between him and the organization? Because there's rumors now that they might not be keeping him. They just did what we should have did. You signed him back as an asset. Yeah. Now you can use that asset to get something else in return. So they're not guaranteed to say that, they signed him back, he's staying. Yeah. Because they don't have any faith in DeAndre Ayton. If that was the case, then they would have signed him day one on free agency. You know what I'm saying? So then on top of that, you say Memphis. Now, we've been hearing reports that Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be out extensive games at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
We know how dangerous the West is. Now, for you to have your number one defensive anchor being out for an extensive time in the season, with the West being the way it is, you think that's going to mean that you're going to be a better team?
Did Memphis pick up anybody big?
No,
I didn't think so either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so the thing that, like I said, it gets me because I'm not surprised, King. These are also the same people who thought we were going to get out the first round.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I'm not surprised by it. It's getting ridiculous. It's like you base all of that, like you said, you're not looking at anything we added to the team. You're not looking at the JaVale McGee. You're not looking at the Christian Wood adding. You're not looking at none of that. You're looking at the one glaring hole that we have and just saying, that's it, play in. So you're telling me, now, this is the same Jalen Brunson that y'all didn't have faith in against Utah. Mm-hmm. Now, you're saying he's the most important guy that we have in the team. Him by himself, not Luka. Yeah. Him by himself means we're a playing team now. Yeah. I'm trying to think here, King. Who was the MVP candidate on this team this year?
It was Jalen Brunson, I guess.
Oh, I guess it was Jalen Brunson. Okay. Because they're talking as if with Jalen Brunson gone, that means we're just completely trash. Yeah. We're flirting with the lottery picks now. You know what I mean? It's like, really, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Yeah. This is the same guy y'all didn't have faith in until now. Brother, yes, we understand his impact, but you filled in other spots.
They were 16 and 18 last year, bro.
They were 16 and 18.
Like, even with that, they started off slow last year and still got 52 wins.
It still got 52 wins.
Yep.
And remember, some of the losses that we had was against those teams, like we just said before, like the Orlandos, the New Yorks, the OKCs. You know what I'm saying? Like teams like that you're supposed to beat, bro. That you just Washington. You know what I'm saying? You take care of business on those teams, and you're probably about 57, 58 wins. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, man, the thing about the whole, I already know how I feel about ESPN. I talked about this so many times, man. And like you said, he's looking at it on the negative side. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And maybe we're us being mad fans. Maybe we're naive. Maybe so. But it's just like, we've seen it so many times. Like I told you early, a few shows ago, we talked about the fact that everybody mad, like, we're not doing nothing this offseason. It's like, bro, if y'all think about it, we didn't do anything last offseason either. We added 3 people. That was Reggie Bullock, Frank Ntilikina, and Sterling Brown. And we made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but it's just like sometimes doing less is more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have to just add a guy just to be adding a guy. You add what you need. We needed size. You needed size. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you did. You got a dude that can bring some of the sensibility that you thought KP could bring in Christian Wood for half the price.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? And you got JaVale McGee for a discount. Well, not a discount, but you got him for market value. He's worth about $4 or $5 million. So that's what you got him for. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing too, I'm gonna touch on this and we can go on. So I think you touched on this like earlier in the season. You know, you talked about the Mavericks have this reputation of their front office, you know, keeping the powder dry and then they're striking out. They're thinking of the front office of yesteryear. We don't have Donnie anymore. We don't have Rick anymore. We don't have those guys. We don't have Vegas Bob anymore. We don't have those guys anymore. How many times have you heard us say on this show, how many moves did Donnie make that was like this Christian Wood move? How many moves did we see where Donnie made a move like a Reggie Bullock move? You see what I'm saying? So it was either I'm swinging for the fence with this home run or I'm bunting it.
Yep.
And bunting was getting you Nick Collison to somebody.
Yep.
Sorry, not Nick Collison. Was it Nick Collison?
No, I wasn't Nick Collison. I know what you're talking about. Though. All those guys.
Darren Collison,
basically Darren Collison.
Darren Collison. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you know, so like that's what part that gets me, man. It's like if you're gonna, why are you comparing? This is a whole new front office, whole new coaching staff, all that.
Yep.
And you saw the projection that this team is going in with those guys. With those guys. Yep. We're not comparing it to yesteryears with Donnie and all those guys. Now, if you want Donnie was still here and you see this, okay, I can see where you're going with that. Because they have a track record of this type of stuff happening. Oh, we keeping the powder dry. Oh, we don't see a big name out there that we're not making no moves. But we're not seeing that with Nico. Nico is playing. He's you know, working with what he has, and he's doing it very intelligently. You know what I'm saying? And so, then on top of that, you don't see any other teams out there making moves like that right now. We're the only team out here just staying packed. Like you just said, Phoenix didn't make a move. Mm-hmm. Some of the teams above us, the Memphis didn't make a move. What move did Golden State? They won a championship. What move did they make?
And they got rid of people.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Let's just calm it down. Now I understand you got teams like Portland coming back. You got Clippers coming back. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. But let's just temper that. And on top of that, King, one more thing. I know I said one more thing last time. I got one more thing. The disrespect for you to put the Mavericks in the same tier with the Los Angeles Lakers, King.
Yeah.
Your superstar for the Lakers is aging. Mm-hmm. LeBron is 72 years old, and you're comparing it to what we have over here. You got another superstar on your team. Sorry, star on your team. You're not a superstar. You got another star on your team that can't stay healthy.
Pause. You know what's up. Shots.
So then you got Westbrook, who you've been trying to trade since last trade deadline. You know what I'm saying? They're not in the same boat right now. They're not in the same boat. They don't have Luka. You have a top 5 player who hadn't even touched his prime yet.
Who's maturing?
Mm-hmm. Stop, man. Stop.
Hey, man. You remember when James Harden was going through his prime? And this is the guy to compare Luka to. We already said we believe Luka's way better than James Harden. But let's compare the regular season. Let's not even get the playoffs. It didn't matter who you put in front of James Harden. It was the respect of knowing that James Harden still can get you, a certain amount of wins, 50-something wins, and get the Houston Rockets team to the playoffs, probably deep in the playoffs, by himself, no matter who you have with him. So if we have a guy that's better than that, why would you disrespect him and say he's a play-in type guy when, that's just a disrespect, I feel like, to Luka Doncic. And it's fine. It is what it is. We might even start off a little slow. It may happen. I don't know. I do believe that that's a big hole, but I still believe we're getting Colin Sexton. I think free agency just started. I think with today, the conversation of Kevin Durant saying that he's going to stay, it's guys that's angry about Kevin Durant now giving it up. Like guys at free agents are saying, well, it's now we can sign with a team or whatever. We've been sitting here with our families and all. I think Patrick Beverly made a point.
Patrick Beverly said that,
I think Isaiah Thomas finally said, okay, we can sign with teams now and all that. The older Isaiah Thomas, the younger Isaiah Thomas.
Once again, didn't we talk about that on the show?
We said that on the show. We said
that on the show. I said, because everybody's like, why are you not making no moves? Listen, nobody's making any moves right now because they're city packed. They're waiting on what they're going to do with Kevin Durant.
Yep.
How many times have we hear Dallas, people saying Dallas is probably one of those teams that wants to be that third team in the trade with the Brooklyn Nets? Like, how many times do we hear that? We've been saying that this whole time. And now they're finally saying the same things that we've been saying. You know what I'm saying? So,
if we get another ball handler, like we've had a good offseason then. Like the addition of Christian Wood and JaVale McGee is even bigger than the addition, like you said, we had last year. Not to say any disrespect to Reggie Bullock, who was a big addition, but he was really the main addition that we had last year. Yes. You could throw in a Frank or whatever. Frank helped us out and all, but he's not a major addition to the team. This year, I feel like Christian Wood and JaVale McGee are going to both be major additions to the team. So if we can get somebody to take care of that hole, like we said, we've been saying on the show forever, like you keep saying, we keep saying this on the show. We glad you guys watch We Talk Mavs, every week. But if we get that other ball handled over, I think we're perfectly fine, though. And I don't think people are recognizing that enough. They aren't giving Jay Kidd enough credit for what Jay Kidd's going to do. They still don't believe he's one of the best coaches, I believe. We're going to be fine. I think Nico's going to get it done. This Colin Sexton thing, I know it's probably a different video, but I really think it's getting traction. And I think it's the Mavs. It's basically the Cleveland and the Mavs are waiting, and it seems like Colin Sexton is the guy that we're waiting on. And we keep talking about it over and over again. And it doesn't sound like there's a bunch of other teams that are calling out for Colin Sexton right now. So it just seems like it's the right thing. We're trying to figure out the right moves. I think the Mavs are trying to figure out if they're trying to get rid of a first-round draft pick or not. And
I think that's too, bro.
I don't think you get I don't know if they're going to or not, but I don't think you can get rid of a first-round draft pick for a guy that the other team isn't even trying to keep. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you definitely don't want to keep this guy. You've already said that out loud and all, so we can't give you a first-round draft pick for a guy that you don't want. That makes no sense. So we'll see how it goes. But I do think Colin Sexton is going to end up being a Mav at the end of the day.
The thing with is when you said the giving up the first-round pick, you want to have two options as far as, adding more talent to the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about the fact that Dallas might have more cap space in the next couple of years.
Yep.
So let's just say hypothetically, you add a Colin Sexton. That keeps you super relevant for the next 2 years when you get that cap space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, do you want to risk a first-round pick to gamble on those 2 years? Or do you know what I'm saying? Like, that seems to be your option right now. It's like, do you want to gamble on that right now? Use that? Because like you said, I think we're to the point now that you using the second-round picks, that's out the door now. If you want to make some significant moves, now when I say significant move, I mean to us significant moves, like a Bogdanovich or somebody like that. That's a significant move for us for what we're trying to do. And so, do you want to give up a first-round pick to say do a move like that? You know what I mean? Or do you hold serve and maybe you pray that a Patrick Beverly or somebody like that gets released or something, or because I mean the way Patrick Beverly is talking, I mean maybe he's defending everybody else that hasn't signed anybody, or maybe he's trying to say like, yo man, I can't do what I want to do yet because we're waiting on you.
He's stuck in Utah right now, knowing his family and all. They got to buy homes. Like, guys got to buy houses and all in different places. So if you're sitting waiting until training camp and all, not even like he's a Utah Jazz right now. He probably doesn't even have a house in Utah. So he's trying to figure out, where am I going to buy a house? Where's my family going to go? Where's my kids going to go to school? Things like that. And so he doesn't know what's going to happen on a bunch of players because Kevin Durant was doing that. But I don't think Nico's going to give up a first-round pick. I think he's going to hold off. I think that's the reason why this whole thing is lasting so long. He's not going to give up a first-round pick. I think he's going to hold back to that as he should. I think the Jalen Brunson whole contract thing has showed us the way Nico, handles contract negotiations. I think he goes in there with a plan and he stands packed towards that. He has boundaries, which I like. I think we are going to get him Collins somehow, some way. We don't need to give up a first rounder. I think we don't need to be. This is why we're waiting it out. It seems like it's taking a lot of time, but this is the right way to go without rushing something and making a foolish decision. So I think we're trying to keep all the leverage that we may possibly have. It's going to hurt because I know Cleveland doesn't want a bunch of what we have right now, and we want to get rid of guys, but somehow, some way, man, like we have Dwight Powell is an asset just because his contract is leaving, and we have other guys. I know they don't want to give up. I know they probably want to give up Tim because we got to sign Colin Sexton, so he's probably going to be like 20-something million. We know that, and then it's probably going to be Josh Green. It sucks. I know it. I don't want to give up a first rounder though. It's like either give up a first rounder or give up Josh Green, and I don't want to give up a first rounder, so I have to give up Josh Green if that's the case. And the only way you use a first rounder is if you know for sure that this team is a team that's going to do something. Like if you know Colin Sexton's coming over and giving us 20 off the bench or whatever he's doing, you got Christian Wood giving you 25 and 10 and Luka being ridiculous and the rest of the team rolling around it. If you know for a fact that that's going to happen and we can compete with for a championship right now with the squad, you give up first rounder, but there's too many question marks, I feel like, with Colin Sexton's injuries and Christian Wood never being on a winning team. Same thing with Colin Sexton. And just all them type of questions of being a contract years and all that you want to try not to give up a first round pick. So I think Nico's going to get it done somehow, some way. I just have a feeling.
I hope you're right, man.
I hope I'm right too.
All right, man. You ready to get into these questions and these comments, man?
Yes, I heard you already scrolling trying to beat me.
I'm already up there. I was already up there already. I was trying to clear that number.
Oh, wow.
All right, everybody. So, listen, guys, time for the questions in the comments. You guys already know how this works. If you got a question, if you got a comment, hit us with the WTM, guys, so that way we can go ahead and we know that you're trying to address us. All right, King, you ready, man?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Got your first, got your favorite Glow Yard member right here. You got Johnny B saying first comment. What happened to y'all on Sunday? I had some controversial propaganda and vitriol to spill. Hashtag no show yard. Johnny, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You know what happened on Sunday? Game of Thrones came out, man. Game of Thrones. What's the number one show Sunday? By the fact that it doubled Stranger Things, which is crazy. Stranger Things put up stupid numbers, and that doubled Stranger Things. To the point that the the HBO app completely shut down. So yeah, it was that crazy. But yeah, that's what happened to me, Johnny. I listen, man. It'd be certain shows. Me and my girl, man, we love watching on certain days, man. And unfortunately, Game of Thrones is on Sunday, so.
Yeah, I've never watched Game of Thrones. I've never been a Game of Thrones guy.
Oh man, you're missing out, man. You're missing out.
I'm not big into medieval times and all that stuff.
Oh, it's trust me, it's different, bro. It's different. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say Red Wedding. Yeah. Jeffrey says, "What's up, man?"
What up, Jeff? What up, Johnny, as well?
Brolo says, now that KD staying in Brooklyn, it's time to get back in Nico we trust mode and go get Sexton, Schroeder. Hell, I'll take anybody that can handle the ball. KD wasting our times. Matter of fact, I heard Schroeder might be going back to LA.
Yeah,
that was reported. So, shout out to Daryl. That might be happening. I don't know how happy you're gonna be about that one, but yeah. Johnny says, let's change our name to Glow Guys.
But it's not only guys.
Not only guys though, Johnny. So I don't know about that one. Glow Guys. It don't roll up a ton, you know. RC says, I seen the video and it made me cringe also. They said we're a play-in team. These guys are bums. Yeah, it's not even them though, RC. It's just that Tim Bunting guy, man. I don't know. Like I said, he's been like King said earlier. He's been on one against the Mavs for a while now, man. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's like he's looking completely at the negative. It's like if you're making that assumption with us missing Jalen Brunson, that means that you're saying that Jalen Brunson was the most important player on this team.
Yeah.
Now, we already talk about how Luka is the equalizer. Like, you have Luka, you're starting off already at a certain level. You just add on to that. You know what I'm saying? And we already see the way Luka's playing right now. He's going to come in the shape, all that stuff. He's coming in with the mind frame of being an MVP type player coming in out the gate. None of that I'm out of shape stuff. Give me a couple months to get into shape stuff. None of that. So I think, like I said, I don't believe we're a playing team with Luka, man. I can't see that. We weren't a playing team before Luka decided to get in shape. So I just don't see that.
Yeah, I don't think we're a playing team. I'm worried. The Jalen Brunson ball handling thing I'm worried about that for the playoffs, to tell you the truth. We're gonna play regular season, we're gonna win our games, we're gonna lose a couple where we're mad. It's gonna happen. We should win 50 games like me and Ro have been saying on this show. Like, that's gonna be a regular thing, I think, with Luka. Same thing like it was with Dirk. No matter who you threw with him throughout his prime, he would get 50 wins. I think Luka's gonna do the same thing. So we find regular season. I'm worried about the playoffs as far as a 7-game series. The Jalen Brunson.
And not only that, King, we got time to fill that hole. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I was just about to say that. When did we get Spencer Dinwiddie? We didn't get him at the beginning of the season, so you got time. So I was like, yeah, like you said, I didn't think about it like that. You're right. Regular season, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with regular season.
So think about it. We were fine with just Jalen Brunson and Luka before we got Spencer Dinwiddie. So You're right. Johnny B says, "How much did Melissa donate? I gotta outdo her. She not even a Mavs fan. I
Enough.
can't tell you how much she donated, man. But
Enough. That's what you tell
yeah,
her.
enough.
We
We definitely
appreciate
appreciate
it.
her too, man.
Anything.
Then I tell you something, Johnny. She not even a Mavs fan, and she donated, man. So that's love right there, man.
Yeah, much love. We appreciate you, Melissa. We appreciate all y'all.
Johnny B also says, "My guy Brunson is not that big of a deal. Losing him would not take you from 4 to a playing." Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Johnny. Like I said, his impact will be felt in the playoffs if we don't sure that spot up.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if for a player of Jalen Brunson's caliber, matter of fact, if Jalen Brunson was that important, then why was ESPN and Fox and all these guys killing the Knicks for signing him to that deal?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. If he's that important to the point that losing him drops you down to the playoff spot, I keep saying it's playoff, play-in spot, then why we got killing the Knicks deal? Ken, you got to make it make sense to me, man. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm at 2 + 2, and I'm not getting 5. How am I getting 5, Ken?
I told you ESPN is just on both sides of the equation. They on the other side of the fence on the extremes. So you either get the extreme negative sides or you get the extreme negative sides on the other side. So it's basically what it is. You either signed Jalen Brunson for too much or you should have signed Jalen Brunson. And either way, it doesn't help your team. So
exactly. Yeah, I don't understand that, bro. I really don't.
yeah.
Harold, what's good, man? He said, I don't see Christian Wood as a number 2 option. Then who do you see, Harold?
Yeah. I think he's just saying as far as like overall. He's
obviously he's coming overall. I think for the team, it's like he's your second option. He's going to be your second option.
I think he's saying he shouldn't be the number 2. We still need to find a number 2, but he's going to be the number 2 on his team.
I mean, you're not the only person. If that's the case, then Harold, you're not the only person who feels that way. It's a lot of people online that feel that way, But for right now, he's your number 2 option. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he can give you what we thought KP can give us for a fraction of the price. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about a guy who's getting paid $35 million compared to a guy who's getting paid $14. So yeah.
A lot of folks. I have a question for you, Harold. If you're still in here, you can talk in the comments, and other folks as well. A lot of folks thought street clothes or whatever. I think we passed saying that, but they thought he was the number 2 option. Before he even played, and they thought what he could bring would be a number 2 option. What don't you see Christian Wood bringing that KP or whatever could bring? At a level, I guess you could say the help side defense. KP wasn't the greatest one-on-one defender ever. He was a great help side defender because he's a small guy. Usually guys that are small guys aren't great one-on-one defenders. They're great help side guys because you can't really body up. But obviously, go ahead. I'm saying obviously C Wood, it hasn't been shown that as much now. But other than that, like he's a better rebounder than that guy. I feel like, truthfully, you give him some help on his side, he's gonna be a better scorer than that guy. So if you think he can give you around like
you've got one more, you've got one, King.
He's a better dribbler. He's more efficient.
Definitely a better dribbler. He's more efficient. Yeah,
he's more efficient. Like, and if you think he can give you over 20 points a game, like that's what I'm saying. Like, why don't you believe it? I'm not even doubting you and saying that you're wrong on it, but I don't understand why folks are saying C Wood can't be a number 2 option.
I'm telling you, I could see him getting us like 23, 24, and 12.
I can see him being an all-star. I really can.
I've heard people say that.
If KP would have been a little bit more healthy, I think he'd have been an all-star.
Okay, now you're back to cussing, bro.
Hey, we were here talking on the show, saying there was nobody out there as far as who's going to be the last guy, as far as the last forward. So
Frank says, I'm tired of the BS hate. Knicks making Cass pay. JB going to leave regardless. The money, it ain't entirely the Mavs' fault for letting JB walk since he chose to go home. Amen. Like, good point, Frank. Because, like, look, I think he even talked about it, man, in one of his interviews. It's like, look, for you to get the chance to play with your dad, to play with people you grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he felt like that was a great opportunity for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we said on this show, we're not mad at him for making that decision. If you think that's what is best for you, then yeah, you know what I'm saying, and can't blame him. You know what I mean? Like you get to play with your dad and get to play with people who pretty much helped raise you, all that stuff, man. So, and I'm guaranteeing they probably told him, look, you're gonna be the guy that's controlling the ball. You're the guy. You know what I'm saying? And so with all that culminating to that, kind of led him to going to New York. So yeah, you're right. And I really have a feeling that he made that decision a while back. I think Dallas just kind of had the mind frame of, I think we could talk him out of it. But then once time kind of went on, it was like, it just let him go.
Yes.
Now, them not having a plan B, that's the part that gets me though.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword basically that's going on here. It isn't entirely the Mavs' fault, but it is partially the Mavs' fault. There's blame on all around on both sides. Once JB was able to become a near, max guy, the Mavs lost him. It was over. Once another team was willing to give him that money and to say that he was valuable, the Mavs had lost him. The Mavs should have signed him when he was a cheaper deal. That's basically what it came down to. And we wouldn't be in as much situation. We'd have lower cap space and all that stuff. We should have got him earlier, and we didn't believe in him. So that is partially the Mavs' fault. I won't, I'll stay on this show and keep saying that it's not just JB. We don't knock JB, and I'm not giving JB, a pass here for the way he handled things. But the Mavs didn't believe in him, man. Like, it is what it is. It's like your job. If you work for any job and, your boss just is like, I don't believe in you. You feel like you're busting your butt and you feel like you're more valuable than a lot of folks and do more things than other folks are doing. But, they're getting higher position, more promotions and, raises over you. You're going to feel like I can go somewhere else if someone else offers me a position and they believe more. And then when the other guy comes back and he's, saying, what do you need? What do you need now? You're like, well, it's too late now. I'm going to try the other side of the grass.
I put my 2 week notice in already.
Exactly. So he put his notice in. You said it. I think Johnny B said it before when he was talking about the jersey signing and all. That was his 2 week notice. And at that point, the Mavs tried to come back and sign him again and say, "Could you come back?" And he's like, "No, I'm gone now. I was already gave my letter of starting or giving my letter from the other team." So it's all good. I'm not mad at Jalen Brunson, but I do wish the Mavs could have handled it a little differently as well. But I do think we can make up for it. I think people are making it a bigger deal than it is, because I think we can fill JB's position again easier than, say, if we needed to find a Luka Doncic or whatever.
Exactly. Johnny says Brunson was leaving no matter what the Mavs offered him and his dad, and the Knicks made sure they left the Mavs with nothing due to them playing with the contract extension before. Yeah, that's true, Johnny. Martin was good, man. He says now the KD drama is over. I think it's safe to say that the Mavs have 0 moves. Even Cavs don't want to give up Colin. I feel I'm a star Sexton for a sign and trade on one of our pieces.
Not yet. I'll take it first, bro. Not yet, Martin. I just don't grade the Mavs moves yet in the offseason. Like, just nobody has moved. It's not just us. If you look at other teams' shows, like their shows like we do for other teams, maybe like the Suns or the Grizzlies or something like that, a bunch of these other teams are probably saying the same thing. Nobody's moving. We aren't doing anything. It's time to make moves and all. So don't grade it yet. Guys weren't really being serious yet. Like, I feel like they didn't really want to go get Colin Sexton yet because they were waiting for the KD move. They didn't want to lose the opportunity to be part of that third team. So now the talk is gonna rev back up. Like, you're hearing it now. Remember, we thought it was over with Colin Sexton. That we had no chance. That was a wrap. Cleveland said it was done. He didn't want anything. And now you hear they're talking again. So it's going to rev back up. I think it's going to happen. I think they didn't want what we were going to give to them before when we were trying to be in that 3-team trade. But now we can throw other things in there knowing that KD isn't available anymore.
And let me ask y'all a question on the Colin Sexton thing. Let's just hypothetically speaking. If we were able to get Colin Sexton, how would that make y'all feel? Would y'all feel better, or would y'all be kind of so-so? Just let us know here in the comment section, guys. I want to kind of see what everybody's thinking is on this.
How would you feel, bro?
I feel a whole lot better. I'm telling you, I would say top 2, top 3 in the West.
I feel like we're right back as long as it's healthy. It's health. Health is the only thing I worry about. Then is health.
Yeah. I mean, he balling right now. He look good.
Yeah. And if that's
and I told you before, he's young. So I mean, it's not like he's not known for having a history of injuries. It's like his only injury he's ever had, and he's young. So that's why I feel like he'll be okay. He's not 7'3", 7'4", where it's like those guys are and have a history of like those nagging injuries that continue to nag, and it shortens their career. So
he averages for his career over 20 points a game already.
Yeah.
Like people don't even realize that. Like he averages over 20 points a
I
game.
want to say 23.
It might be. I think it's less than that because he averaged less than 20 his rookie year. Second year he got up to like 20 something, and then he got 24 the year before last. I don't know what he did last year. He was hurt, but I think
he dropped a little bit because of this year.
Yeah,
but yeah, last year I think he averaged 24 last year.
Before that, yeah, I think he's for his career maybe around like 20, 21, around there, a little under 21. So yeah, he's a beast. I don't think he's as
that's him being the number one option, King.
And he's efficient. He's not inefficient. He's an efficient guy. He's not as his playmaking has gotten a little better over time. He still doesn't give you enough, I feel like, to be a starting point guard. I think at his peak he gave you four, maybe 4.5 a game. So I don't think he's as good at facilitating the ball as JB is, and as far as not turning the ball over. But as far as being a ball handler that can score and get you buckets, I do think he can handle that role. And if you got a Spencer Dinwiddie here who can still be a guard, a point guard type player and all, I think we just need a ball handler. Like I said, he doesn't have to be a point guard. We just need another ball handler that can take the ball and go get a bucket and then pass it when it's needed. So I think Colin Sexton would be perfect for the team.
I agree. Coy says our defense this year is going to be top 5 in the league. Just watch. I know how y'all feel about Spencer and our supporting cast. Going to surprise people. Josh is going to be better. I agree, Coy.
I agree with the defense.
Yeah, I agree. Because, like I said, we had top 6 defense last year with Dwight Powell as your starting center. As your starting center, you got a way better defensive center in JaVale McGee, a dude that's 7'1", 7'2", who's longer and more rangier, and who is a shot blocker. So you add a guy like that with this defense, man. I agree, Corey. I think they can be a top 5 defense, especially in the regular season, man. I really think they can. So yeah, I agree.
Bro, I think we're gonna lock it down. I'm waiting for the season. I think JaVale McGee gonna be huge in the middle as far as defensively.
Yeah, I think so too.
Bro, I think we're gonna be a monster defensive.
This is what I've been telling you. This is what I've been telling you, King. A guy like that lets your guys on the perimeter be a little bit more aggressive on the perimeter. Instead of you having to chase all over the place, I can now focus on the perimeter now while keeping you out the paint. So I can be a little bit more aggressive. And if you do get past me, I have an eraser back there now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think the Mavericks believe they have such a offensive wizard in Luka Doncic that they worry more about the defensive side of the ball, that the offense will take care of itself. So
rebounding and defense.
Yep. So I agree with you, Coy.
Me too. Of course, said just because we don't have the big names don't mean we ain't gonna be good. Yeah, like I said, we added just 3 guys last year, guys. One of them guys ain't here no more who didn't even do anything in Sterling Brown. You added Frank, who barely played, and you added Reggie Bullock, and we got to the Western Conference Finals. So, you know what I mean? Like, let's just let it play out and see what happens. Let's not just say, like, oh, because we didn't add, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson, we're not doing nothing. It's like, okay, we didn't add that last year, and look how far we got. And like I said, we're banking everything on the fact that Luka's going to come in better shape. He's going to come out the gate aggressive, killing it like he's doing right now in Slovenia, man. So, yeah, we got Luka. That's pretty much all I got to say. Richard said, say, Real, you and King need to go on First Take and put these facts on all this on ESPN's ignorance, man.
I'd love to.
Don't let me gonna get on there. We gotta say something really stupid, bro. We gotta say something real stupid.
I'd yell against Stephen A. Smith. I'd love to go back and forth and yell. Let's yell.
Right, bro, you gonna lose your voice, man.
That's fine.
Gonna be here talking horse.
You're gonna lose his piece.
Hero says we still missing another ball handler, 3-and-D to help Dodo and Reggie. Yeah, we are. Like I said, Harold, look, 2 things. The season hasn't started yet, and 2, like I think we'll be okay regular season. We have until the trade deadline to kind of see what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like we didn't get Spencer Dinwiddie in them until around the trade deadline. So, and we were doing good after January 1st. And we didn't have him at January 1st. Remember, we had that team for a whole month or some change before we got Spencer Dinwiddie, and we were balling in that time frame. So I'm saying that to say that we didn't always have a third ball handler before we got Spencer Dinwiddie. We just had Luka and JB. So from January 1st to February, 14th or 15th or whatever it was, the Mavs were balling before they got Spencer Dinwiddie. So yeah.
Why do these analysts seem to not understand youth or age and stuff like that. Like, so I got different tiers. It's usually guys that are probably where they're going to be, guys that are falling off, and guys that are going to get better, right? You got guys like Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith is I feel like more towards that. He's where he's going to be. He might get a little more efficient and stuff like that, but you're not going to get. He's going to be this guy, this role. Yeah, this is what he is. He's this Dorian Finney, this great 3-and-D guy. He's going to be that. I feel like Maxey's a great 3-and-D guy, but he's maybe getting a little older, and he
definitely is what he is.
He's what he is, but he may be going downhill eventually because he's getting older, as we've seen.
Yeah,
that's fine. But you got guys like Luka Doncic. He's going to get better. He's still young. Like, we know he's getting better with time. He's not in his peak yet. I still, as well, like I said, that's why I'm so high on Josh Green. Josh Green is going to take another leap this year. He has to take another leap. He took a leap last year, and then this year, even if it isn't the leap you guys want and as much as you guys want, he's going to take some type of leap. So it's going to be something better than last year, I feel like. So with that happening, he's going to fill some of that role between either the ball handler or the 3-and-D. That's my feeling with Josh Green. I think he's going to get better and fill some type of more position on the team, Nick. That's just a step. The thing is, how much of a ball handler on the 3-and-D guy is he going to be next year? How much can he make up for what we need? I'm more confident in him being more of a help in the 3-and-D side than I am in the ball handler right now. He could become that, but like I said, if we get a Colin Sexton or so, and we still have a Josh Green to develop and all, I'd be perfectly fine with the team.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Then we can go on to the next one here. Do you think that people would not be so hard on Josh Green if we didn't see what Sadiq Bey and Desmond Bain did? You think it has a lot to do with it, or just the fact that, oh, you were a first-round pick, you should be doing this? Like, what do you think it is?
I think that his skill set isn't seen as much on the stat sheet, so he's not going to look as good up front. Kind of like like you say about Draymond Green and all that. Like, Draymond Green is obviously worth his position in the draft. He should have been higher and all that. But when you were seeing him earlier, you may not have recognized if you've seen him in a different system and the way he was playing earlier, that he maybe what are you guys doing? What are you giving this time to him for and all that? Like, I feel like Josh Green has a bunch of the other stuff, the intangibles that we see all the time here as Maverick fans that other guys aren't seeing because they're just looking at stat sheets. So when you look at the stat sheet, you say, man, Josh Green puts up 5 points a game? What that's ridiculous. But then when you're in the game watching them and you're seeing, well, Josh Green did this as far as defensively. Josh Green was a ball handler for the Mavs at some point, dribbling the ball up the court. Josh Green is the second best passer on the Mavericks team. Like, that's stuff that you can only see with the eye test that the stat sheet doesn't show you. And the analysts and all always project the stat sheet at times instead of the eye test. And it's like, well, other people are going to think Josh Green sucked because they don't see him play. Most people, bro, before you go, most people only, when you watch basketball, it's real. You usually watch your team. You watch your team and highlights of the other people. That's usually how it rock and rolls. It's the truth. And so other guys get their stats from people that tell people stuff. So if you're not a Maverick fan and you're just keeping up with Maverick stuff, you're usually going off what people tell you as far as the Mavs. And if people aren't telling you all the little stuff that Josh Green is doing, then you think Josh Green isn't good at all because you don't get to see him as much as like other folks on TV.
RC says the Sexton make Dallas offseason a success. If it happens, for sure.
Yes.
That means you have Sexton, Christian Wood, and JaVale McGee. That's a huge success for the Mavericks.
Absolutely.
So, yes. Martin says, we all know that ESPN have too many LeBron sexuals. That's why they keep ranking him over others. He said, I think LBJ, as great and as juicy as he is no longer top 5. I got to agree with you, Martin. I got to agree with you. If you're probably talking about that list that ESPN came out with where they had Luka like number 7. See what I'm saying? Like,
bro, they had KD ranked number 2, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree, Martin. I agree.
I agree too. I agree. LeBron, I had LeBron on my rank, I think maybe 6. I think I had him 6 on my rank, 6, 7, or something like that. He may have been. He was a little bit under the top 5. I think he was 7. I can't remember on Twitter. But, yeah, I don't think he's top 5 anymore.
Yeah, RC know about that House of Dragons. Yes, sir. What's that? Harold said it too. He said, yeah. Wait, so he said,
He said for the first 4 seasons, and that's it.
oh man, Harold. We're gonna have a debate on that one, bro. Cause me and my girl were just talking about that today, man. We was talking about that today. I feel like a lot of people like completely just crapped on the show, but just because of season 8. And it's like, bro, like y'all can't ignore. I still think season 7 is the best season. I could be wrong, but I think season 7 is the best season, man. Like that was when like that was what was supposed to set season 8 up to like kind of just close it out. But you know, season 8 has its flaws. I know a lot of people kind of just don't like season 8, but yeah.
I used to be big on Dexter like that.
Man, I started watching Dexter after his wife died.
Oh,
when she got killed or whatever.
Trinity,
Trinity killed her, yeah.
I watched all of them religiously, man. I caught on Dexter the second season. I missed the first season, second season, and then went back and watched it, and it was hooked ever since then.
Because what that like season 4 when she died?
Season 4, yep.
Yeah, I watched it all of season 4, bro, and it's like it just kind of like teetered off a little bit after that. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it really did. It did start to teeter off at the season 4. Season 4 was the best season. I feel like
that was the best season.
Yeah.
Brolot says Seawood will give us more than 8 points in playoffs. Amen, Reggie. I believe that too, man. I believe that too. That man averaged 13-5, bro. I will never get over that, man. I will never get over that. RC says the Knicks were the only team raising his stock. They knew what they were doing. Who else is raising his stock and willing to pay him what the Knicks were paying for? For what we heard, it was either Detroit,
yeah,
or Indiana.
Yeah, Detroit.
Detroit decided to go to when they also found out like everybody else that he was chances are he was going to New York. They decided to go through the draft.
Yeah, they were going to try to do the same thing like they did with Luka, with JB and what's his name? Cade Cunningham. Yep, they were going to try to have him play off of him the same way they thought since they saw that work. As we said on the show, even when we played Detroit, how much that Cade Cunningham reminded us of Luka Doncic. So they see the same thing, and they thought it would be a good idea to bring somebody. And JB's a winner now, so he's always been a winner. You'd have brought him over to that situation that probably to help them become a winning franchise.
Teflon, what's good, man? He said the Knicks better not fire Ray Brunson or JB might walk. He probably won't like that. Yeah, that's a good point. As a matter of fact, I think he went and came back. I think he's with the Knicks before left and then came back. So yeah.
They lost by 15 in the Drew League, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. That's gonna be interesting.
That's not good, man.
Harold says adding Sexton and Pat Bev, we're going to the finals. That'd be nice. That would be nice.
We get both of them. We win it. We get both of those. I'm saying we're the favorite.
Yeah, I say we're favored in the West for sure. There's some finals. Whoever coming out the East.
If we can only get rid of. Basically, if we can get rid of anybody that didn't play for us last year, and the only person we can add into that is maybe Tim Hardaway Jr. and keep everybody else, I believe we're the favorites.
Frank says I feel better not just because he's in Dallas, but he would shut up all the hate and belief that Dallas isn't trying to help Luka win.
I feel like you're talking about Christian Wood, maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree, man.
I agree as well.
So that's why I also say I don't think Tim Bunton has any respect for Luka, man. Like you can't say like, oh, I think he's a top 5 player. Then at the same time, you're saying, oh, he's playing. It's like, come on, bro. Like LeBron. Y'all had that type of. Y'all compare this dude to LeBron. LeBron didn't go to a play-in his prime around that age. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Brola says, King, I know you said don't grade the moves, but I disagree. I think overall the moves have been a success. It's incomplete due to not having another ball handler, which we know will be a problem.
And incomplete is the same thing as a failure, Reggie. So that's why I'm saying you can't. If it's incomplete, I agree. Like you said, the moves have been a success. So I agree that the JaVale McGee and Christian Wood moves are big, and they aren't really being accepted or really seen for what they are because we lost another piece, which has created another hole. But I do think it's been a good move so far. We fill the other piece up, and it's going to be okay. I just don't want to grade it so far because, like you said, it's an incomplete.
Let's give it time, y'all. We still got time.
Yeah.
Johnny B said Buntem's got Down syndrome. We're really taking his opinions about Dallas serious. He wanted to be Skip Bayless so bad. Yeah, man, he stuck on that opinion too, Johnny B. Like, he don't want to move off of that for nothing. Even with Tim is throwing these facts out, he's like, well, I mean, yeah, if you're pro Dallas. Like, are you serious right now, bro? Like, okay.
Stop.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, RC says, I think people sleeping on Luka's defense improvement also, especially his leaner and fast on his feet. Yeah. Which is what I can't. I apologize. I can't remember who said this, but somebody said it's going to be. They think Dallas going to be a top 5 defense, and I think so too. You got longer, rangier defenders now. I really think if you surround Christian Wood, Dodo, and with JaVale McGee, you keep him more perimeter oriented with his length. You know what I'm saying? Like, and man, listen, I said it before, man. That zone gonna be stupid. Listen, you're not gonna have a dude shorter than 6'6" on the team in the starting lineup, King. That's stupid. That means all them dudes can literally sit in the zone and touch hands to where you can't even get in the perimeter, bro. That's gonna be crazy.
We're gonna trade Reggie Bullock.
Okay, I'm done.
I feel it. I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know, bro.
King, I'm not talking to you today.
Okay.
Reggie says
I'm letting you know. Hold on, before we go on, hold on. I'm telling you because it's Reggie's place. The defense is going to be weird. I would say that's the only part I think about is Reggie's place on the court. Like, he's not going to be a starter anymore. He's not. It's going to be Spencer Dinwiddie starting right there, like you said, Colin Sexton. And if Christian Wood's playing, you can't have Reggie Bullock starting in the game. So, do you have him on the bench? Is he really that going to contribute that much on the bench for us for what he does? And I mean, or should you trade him? Like, I mean, it's a real question. I know it sucks. Think if he starts, no way. I'm with you, and I'm saying no way you trade him. You don't get rid of him. You can't do anything. But if you can't start him, do you think about possibly trading him?
You know.
All right. Okay.
Do you want to win? Come off the bench, bro.
Hey, I feel you, but he wanted to win last year. Come off the bench. His role, it doesn't fit well. Come off the bench.
Well, let's just see what happens, man.
All right, we'll see.
Reggie says better with Sexton. Once we get Dinwiddie and McGee coming off the bench, I'll be good. I mean, look, I wouldn't be opposed to starting Dinwiddie if you got and have Colin Sexton come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine. He just kind of because I feel like Colin Sexton, like King said a minute ago, just focus on scoring. Like, you don't have the pressure of having to be the point guard because you're at that position. Just go in here and score. You can be a Jordan Clarkson or somebody like that, or a Lou Will or somebody, man. You just go in there and your focus is going to be straight scoring, bro. Just go in there and score. We need your offense coming off the bench.
I agree, and that's why I'm with you, Rich. I would rather have Sexton starting. I think Dinwiddie is more of a facilitator off the bench. I think Sexton starting in the lineup can be more of the two-guard guy that can just get you buckets and all, where he could just go ahead and get you buckets beside Luka, and Dinwiddie can be responsible for helping guys up off the bench.
I'm not mad at that. Johnny says, I don't get why they think losing JB makes our team terrible, but the Knicks getting him doesn't make them better. He says, hence them wanting Donovan so bad. And that's what I said, Johnny. It's like that you got to make it make sense to me, man. Y'all were dogging the JB signing to the Knicks, but then the same breath saying, oh, Dallas is bad because they don't have JB. It's like, so is he good or not? Like, let us know. You know what I mean? I'm confused right now. Like, you confusing me. Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely agree, man. Lies, what's good, man? He says Bontemp has been low-key disrespectful lately. That nerd has been bringing the good-ish we made down. Is only focusing on the loss of JB. That trash never touched a b-ball in his life. Like, look, I'm not going to dog him because he hadn't played basketball. But listen, but your opinion doesn't make any sense. That means that you're telling me that JB is more important than Luka.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the same guy that y'all said that doesn't add anything to the Knicks to make them any better. You're saying that guy is going to cost us a play-in spot.
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like I said, I'm adding 2 + 2, and I'm not getting 5. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, man. You got to make it make sense. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm not gonna disrespect him and say like you ain't picking no basketball up because listen, some of the greatest minds like Eric Spoelstra never played basketball. He's probably one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff Van Gundy, they'll play. Well, he played basketball, but whatever. But yeah,
Does
his
does
brother and them. You know what I'm saying?
does
Oh, go ahead.
Bond Temps was he like a New York guy? Was that his job to watch over the New York teams or
The
whatever?
Knicks.
Yeah, like Tim
I
McMahon does
don't.
ours and Brian did like Cavaliers and all that. What was his area? Do you know?
I don't even remember.
He
I
might
mean,
be
I not remember. I don't know.
he might be a New York guy. That might be why he had so much conversation about JB and the Knicks and all. It's probably because he isn't a New York guy. He may have been a New York guy in the ESPN or whatever. I don't know.
And then that dude put us in the same sense with the Lakers. That's what got me. I was just like,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
We went from the fourth seed to
So
overachieving as the fourth
a
seed.
team that went to Western
Western
Conference is on the
Conference
same level
Finals
with a team that didn't even make the play-in.
in the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
And who the Lakers add? Lonnie Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Lonnie. I like Lonnie Walker, but I'm just saying that doesn't move the needle. That doesn't make you all of a sudden, you know what? Fifth seed now. You know what I'm saying? So that it does not make sense to me, but hey, it's just me, King. It's just Rollout says I want Sadiq Bey at the time of the draft, so why I like Josh Green. So I will always be disappointed we didn't draft Bey. Question: how would Bey fit with the Mavs team?
Be a
I
starter.
think
He'd be a
probably be a
starter.
starter.
He'd be a
You
starter.
know what? I think if we had Bey, I don't think we would have drafted. I don't think we would have signed Reggie Bullock.
No, we would not have.
He's our 3-and-D guy. He's young too.
And he's a better scorer.
Yeah, he's a better scorer for sure.
He can do more. He's more of a guy. He's more than 3-and-D, bro. He's more in that. He fits in that that Jeremy Grant type of role, a guy that can do a little bit more, but can be a 3-and-D type guy, but can do a little more with the ball handling and all. He's a good guy to have on your team as like a number 3 option and all. Like he's that glue guy, that guy that puts it all together. So I think he could be somebody. I think that's why Detroit has him, and I think Detroit got something going on as well.
Oh man, Johnny B says when the Mavs signs Isaiah Thomas as our backup point guard, y'all gonna be mad. Yes, I am.
I am gonna be mad. I'm gonna be extremely mad.
We're not doing the show no more if that happens, man. We're not doing the show no more. We ending the show.
Only person not mad gonna be you, Johnny B.
Harold says, Donovan Mitchell and JB backcourt. Where do you rank in the NBA?
They probably.
I don't know. I don't know all the backcourts off the top of my head, Harold, but
they might be top 5.
They're gonna be a solid. They can put some points up and stuff. I don't know about the defense though. They both are pretty much the same size, so they're gonna definitely be undersized backcourt.
But New York already known for defense, right? The Knicks are supposed to be known for defense, so you put everybody around them as defenders.
That's what I heard. Alyssa says media has been pushing Mitchell on the Knicks with some Twitter fans following. He said, but many other fans can see Knicks go on without Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is a media favorite, but I don't see as an ideal with JB. We were just talking about Melissa when Harold just asked that question if those two are together on the court. Like I said, I agree. Like I mean, they're both undersized. It's like I don't know how that would work. Like I said, he's a name for sure. Not to say that Donovan Mitchell isn't good. He's definitely a name. He definitely would bring some attention to New York. You know what I'm saying? It would fill seats. But if you're talking about the impact on the court and the overall outcome, I don't know. That's going to be kind of hard to say right now.
Bro, have the Knicks not paid attention to the Portland Trailblazers for the last decade?
Nah, they did.
The Portland Trailblazers, that's the same reason. They had 2 guys who were decent, nice, actually, between CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, but they both were small guards that couldn't play defense. At the end of the day, it always comes down to that. Like you have 2 guys in your backcourt that cannot stop anybody. And that's what I don't want to say to the same extent as Portland has, because I really think JB is underrated defensively. Like I think last year he was
amazing. He's
I think last year JB was amazing defensively, actually, and nobody recognizes it. Like Luka was getting called out for defense. JB never got called out. At the beginning of the year when he got in the starting lineup, we worried about him being too small. He did not let us down at all last year. So again, little small things that we're acting like we don't realize anymore as Maverick fans. Like, let him go. He didn't do all that stuff. But again, that's the stuff we're going to miss. So, but I think them being together, though, doesn't switch the needle. I think the Knicks got to get rid of Tom Thibodeau. I think the Knicks got to get rid of Julius Randle. And then you go from there, and then the team just isn't. They aren't complete as well. They're incomplete as well. How about we say that?
Frank says it's unfair. Frank says it's unfair for Josh because Bain, Herb Jones, all the young guys having early success really made everyone believe that either you're instantly elite or a bust. Some players just need time. Yeah.
Wasn't Josh Green? Wasn't Josh Green Luka's rookie?
Yeah.
I think Josh Green was. That's why Josh Green. I believe.
Wait, no. Well, I mean, yeah, he was. Yeah, but I think Lou was in the league 2 years before Josh Green got here.
Yeah, so I'm saying I think he was Luka's rookie. That's what I'm saying. I think Josh Green, because I remember him all the time being around, and Luka used to make fun of him and then pour like water on his head and gave him the defensive belt when he wanted that defensive belt that time with Rick Carlisle and all. I felt like he was Luka's rookie. Like Luka was always making fun of him and all. But if that's the case, then I think he has a bond already with Luka. What I'm saying, and Luka believes in him, must be. So I think he'll be fine. I really think Josh Green can take a step this year.
Well, RC says, "Why are we trading Bullock?" I wouldn't like that. King, want to answer that?
So I'm not saying. So here's my thing, RC.
So pretty much King is saying trade him right now. Get him out my face. That's what King's saying.
You guys know you don't watch the show long enough, RC. You know I love Reggie. Come on, man. Like I've been huge on Reggie before everybody else. Though Reggie was somebody. Like, so my thing is that I watched Reggie struggle last year though, not starting. It is what it is. We were ready to trade Reggie at the beginning of the year because he wasn't starting and he looked horrible. We thought he was Josh Richardson all over again. And what I'm saying now is the way that the team is situated, with wanting Christian Wood to start. If Christian Wood doesn't start, then maybe Reggie can still start. They'll throw it that way. That's why they're trying to get Christian Wood to not start. I think that's really why the conversation is being had with Christian not starting, because they want to start Reggie. I think that is something. But if Reggie is off the bench, I just don't think his role is going to be as important as it was last year for us. Like, it's not going to be as impactful. I'm telling you, him off the bench as far as starting. Like, Reggie ended games for us last year. Do you see Reggie ending games this year?
Yeah, because it will be him, Dodo.
Okay, tell me who. Come on, keep going.
Him, Dodo, Christian Wood, Spencer, and Luka.
So it would be Spence. It would be him over Colin Sexton, as far as if they had Colin Sexton.
I mean, that's not a guarantee that we get Colin Sexton. If we go with the team that we have now, but
that's what I said as far as the trade. I said if you get Colin Sexton, I said do you trade Reggie Bullock? Then that's what I was saying. I said if he's in the Colin Sexton, do you trade Reggie Bullock? Because
you do that, man, you're gonna be putting a lot of pressure on Dodo, man, to guard everybody on the perimeter.
Then what do you do? I'm just trying to think of how do we get assets to get Colin Sexton, right? And how do we, the way the team is set up, like, so we have names and all, but you got to think about how stuff is going to gel. How does Reggie gel on the team if we got a Colin Sexton? That's all I'm asking you guys. I'm just saying, what with us having Dinwiddie starting now, and then Christian Wood and JaVale McGee, how does Reggie Bullock roll? Because we're not going to put Dodo on the bench. What does Reggie do? Like, Reggie becomes the odd man out. We're just not seeing it yet.
Harold says we need depth. Keep RB.
You should. I'm not saying we shouldn't. Here we go again. Do not hear my words as me saying Reggie's not good and we don't need Reggie. I'm trying to get you guys to look at the future. Look past right now and just saying Reggie's name. Get to the season. You're saying you want Colin Sexton. If you get Colin Sexton, does Reggie Bullock end games? I just asked Rel that same question. He said, he had to think about it for a second. He doesn't. He does not end games then. What is Reggie Bullock's role then if Colin Sexton is going to play on his team? That's all I'm asking.
Johnny B says, I think these sports shows analysts should only get hired if they actually play sports at a high level, because you got all these analysts who are horrible talking about people who actually made it. I don't know about that, man, because you got to think about it. In that case, because a lot of these analysts before these sports guys became analysts were guys who wrote for the newspapers and stuff.
Yes, and some of these guys that play ball be horrible analysts.
I'm just about to say that. Kendrick Perkins, anybody?
Yeah, not to throw shots at my man Jalen Rose, but I mean he voted Kyrie Irving first team All NBA.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act like they perfect out here, man. They be making some crazy stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Hell, remember Brian Marshall that played for football for the Dolphins and the Bears and Broncos and all them. And he used to have those stupid takes on first take, which they finally took him off. I was so glad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just because you played it, man, don't mean that you.
Well,
Yeah,
you got,
Charles Barkley didn't be saying some off the wall stuff.
what's
You
your
know
other
what I'm
guy?
saying? All them play.
What's your guy?
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky, whatever his name was, the guy that couldn't even start at all.
Yeah.
He's all on first take, giving his opinion on what's a good quarterback and all. And I'm like, hold up, what?
And, right. RC said right here, Perk played and gives the worst takes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, hell, Ryan Hollins. Like, just because you played don't mean you have all the answers, man. Melissa says, I think Wood and Luca duo is going to going to be explosive and shock folks on the West. Yeah, I think so too, Melissa. Not just because you're a Mad fan, it's just like the dude's talented. Look what he did without a point guard. Look what he did with the small sample size he played with James Harden. That's what we're pretty much going off of. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree.
I agree as well.
Frank said Reggie definitely fits starting or not. I think wing depth is covered since adding Wood because they have a rotation of Wood, Maxey, Dodo, and Reggie, which is what I said. That gives them you can kind of rotate them two guys out now. That'll help both of them out instead of having them both playing 115 minutes a game or whatever. So yeah, that's a very solid, good rotation for the threes and the fours. I agree.
Okay,
but I see what you're saying.
I'm gonna
wait to see. Like if we go into the season and he looking Trad Dookie or whatever because he come off the bench, then okay, I'll change my answer. But for right now, I'm gonna wait and see what happens going into the season.
Y'all keep going off of names. I'm telling you, I'm not thinking about the names anymore. I'm thinking about fit. And I watched Reggie play last year with Tim Hardaway Jr. starting. And I watched Reggie struggle while Tim Hardaway Jr. was starting. That's all I'm saying. Like, those are the decisions we have to make. There was a reason that what's his name? Jason Kidd had to change his lineup with Reggie Bullock because Reggie wasn't rocking as a bench player. So I'm not saying he can't change.
And a lot of that had to do too when Tim got hurt.
Yep. And I'm not going to say that Reggie can't do it as a bench guy. No, I'm just going based off of what I saw. Last year, he sucked on the bench. It is what it. Rel was ready to kick him off the team because he was garbage on the bench.
Like I said, I'm just going to wait and I'm going to see. Like I said, if he come in garbage, I would say something.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, last year you were ready to kick him off the team when he was on the bench.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. That's why I said I'm going to wait and see. You know what I'm saying? Because, then if that's the case, then we can say that about every other player on the team. We can make assumptions of what they had last year. You know what I'm saying? What happened to them last year?
Yeah,
we don't know. We just don't know how this team is going to look in general because we don't know who's going to start. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the stuff that we're talking about now, I need to wait and see what's going to happen with this team going into the season. Like I said, they go in like 10, 11, 12 games into it, and he looking like he was doing last year. Then okay, yeah, it's time to make that time to switch something up.
Maxey Kleber plays well, bench or start. Like I don't think we have a problem with Maxey. I don't think there's a question. It's like if whatever you ask Maxey to do, starting or bench, he's gonna come in and he's gonna be Maxey Kleber, no matter what. You have certain players that you can see and you're like, well, no matter what he does, he can do that. Reggie did not look good when he's not getting the ball at the beginning and not getting shots and all, getting in the rhythm of a game. The rest of his game struggled when that was happening. So that's all I'm saying. It's the truth. It's what happened. I'm not saying it defines what happens now. I'm also saying that Reggie was a starter before. Players do not like going from being a starter to being in the bench. Remember when Reggie came in on the team last year, he wanted to be a starter. He was kind of at the beginning of the year. He said, I think I'm a starter and I can give this team and help this team out and all. And then he started on the bench and he was struggling. Reggie usually is a starting player, a starting 3-and-D for a bunch of teams, for the Knicks, for Detroit, and now for the Mavericks. And now you're saying come off the bench. And I'm just telling you from prior experience of watching him play, he doesn't do well off the bench. Now, I'm not saying trade him because of that. I'm not saying his name isn't Reggie and we don't know what he can do. I'm just saying, is it not a fact that he struggled off the bench last year? And he did.
Johnny B says, can the Mavs do a trade with any other team besides the Knicks? The Mavs love they throwaway players. I take Reddish though. I think he'd be good for us. Yeah, I take
I
Reddish,
take
man.
Reddish. I take Reddish too.
I'll take him. Johnny says, where do y'all rank Luka Spencer as a backcourt in the West? Top three, top five, top 10, or do y'all think Luka and Sexton would be ranked higher? I think Luka and Sexton would be ranked higher, but like I said, I don't know about the whole ranking thing, man. We got to see how things play out. I don't think that they're gonna be too bad. I just want to see what Spencer's gonna do now that he's playing starter minutes now. You know what I'm saying? So let's just see how that turns out.
Man, I think Luka and anybody about the best backcourt in basketball. I'm
It's kind
like,
of like the whole, like, how when they say the best duos in the league,
mm-hmm.
when you got, like, you could say Giannis and anybody, it's
Yeah,
gonna be a
like
good duo. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen Luka outplay Devin Booker and Chris Paul together. You feel me? So if he can do that himself, you put anybody beside him, it's just an added piece. So Luka and Spencer, or Luka and Sexton, they got the possibility to be a top three duo in the backcourt. Maybe even an argument for the best duo in the backcourt. That's what I'm saying. That's how much credit or how much credence I give to Luka Doncic.
Try to finish these up, King. Harold says Slovenia winning the Eurobasket with Luka being the MVP. Does that help narratively his MVP case in the NBA? It could add to it. Like I said, it's a lot of people kind of got him already, man. It's one of the favorites for MVPs, like him and Joel Embiid right now. Matter of fact, I think Vegas got those two right now as the two favorites to win MVP. So it could help, I guess. It can kind of give him a head start a little bit. It's like, oh man, look what Luka did, and then going into the season with him being in shape and all that stuff. Yeah, it could probably help. I don't think it'll be like the defining thing. It's like, oh, if he won over here, he has to win over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think he could add to it. You know what I mean? What you think, bro?
Yeah. I've said this before. I don't know why it doesn't. Like, this is more of the equal playing field for guys. So when you ask who's really the best, this what I think shows, because you're playing on a Slovenian team that's doesn't really have a bunch of NBA players other than the old Goran Dragic. And then you have other guys like Joker playing with his squad. He's a two-time MVP. Giannis playing with his squad. He has his brothers on there. His brothers play NBA ball, and he's on there. So if Luka is able to win this whole championship, why isn't he the best player in basketball? That's an even playing field, and you see he's the one that won it. But also, before we go off this topic, Rel, we got to stop saying EuroLeague. We were corrected on Twitter. It's not the EuroLeague. Not that Harold said EuroLeague, but we normally say that sometimes on here. It's the European Championships, because that's what's going on. So we apologize for our ignorance. I just wanted to say that on the show while we had it going on. Make sure I definitely recognize that you guys told us that.
RC says, so y'all keep Tim over Reggie Bullock, because I think Tim makes the trade possible also.
No, I think Tim. Yes, I think Tim's the piece of trade.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim's the piece of trade. You get rid of him. I'm just like,
I'm keeping Reggie.
I just get worried about Reggie not starting. I really want Reggie to start.
Yeah. RC said, my man said, Ron Holland. Yeah, he played basketball. He touched the basketball. He played professionally.
A former Mav. He should be on the floor. He should be on the floor. He's a former Mav.
Man, he coming up with some of the, and I think he purposely does that too, man. Just kind of make a name for himself. Try to be like that Stephen A.
Bro.
So, yeah.
He was one of the big guys behind Luka, though. He was one of the main guys saying take Luka number one, though. Let's give him his credit. Excuse me.
Harold says Reggie Bullock will help us to play 5 out, moving Seawood to center, JaVale to the bench at the end of games. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what's probably going to end up happening.
Yes, I agree, Harold, if we do not have Colin Sexton. So currently with this squad we have right now, Reggie Bullock is the end of the games. JaVale McGee will not be playing, and Reggie will be in there. My question becomes, if we have Colin Sexton, does Colin Sexton then not play the end of games? We're going to play him $25 million a year to not play the end of games?
Yeah, that's a good point. Johnny B says King THJ struggled coming off the bench just like Reggie did, but he still had to do it. It's something about playing with Luka that makes them make shots, but I think Spencer can help them also.
Spencer on the bench. Smith starting.
Yeah, Spencer starting. According to Kid, Spencer and JaVale McGee are gonna be starting. Which
Yep.
I think the whole promise and JaVale McGee thing, man, just messed up
Yep.
everything, really.
That's the big thing. You got it, Rel. That's the big thing. Promising JaVale McGee to start in position. If he didn't promise JaVale McGee to start in position, I wouldn't have all these questions about Reggie Bullock right now. Because I would say put your boy Seawood at the center position, and then everything makes sense.
And that I think that's the main thing, you know what I mean? Because like nobody thought that, when we said, we getting JaVale McGee, everybody kind of figured, he coming off the bench. You're gonna start Christian Wood. Came in with the idea of Christian Wood being the 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it is what it is. He says, Johnny B says the Mavs signed Marcus Bigham to a training camp spot. I'm not sure. Did they? I didn't get it.
I don't know, but also, Rel, one more question for you. Does Reggie start? So now that Tim Hardaway Jr. is back, now that he said that question, Johnny B, you said THJ struggled on the bench. Does Reggie play more closing minutes over THJ?
That's a great question.
Oh, remember when they played together? Who played the closing minutes?
Especially if Tim Hardaway don't play no defense.
Oh, y'all know what I'm saying now. Everybody act like they don't know what's going on. Like THJ and Art and Reggie Bullock were messing each other up last year. It is what it is. THJ getting hurt helped Reggie Bullock start to flourish in the system. So if THJ comes back and you want THJ to give you what he's supposed to give to you, you can't have him on the bench as well in the fourth quarter if he's out there hot. So if Tim's out there giving you like 30 points, you're going to say, hey, Tim, go sit. It's a close game. Reggie, come on in. You can make a couple open threes, but, Tim can do more than Reggie on the offensive level. Let's not lie. So.
Man, listen, if you trust Jason Kidd, man, let him work his magic, King.
I feel you, but there's a lot of promises you got to keep.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. That's why I said I'm right now. We don't know that have all the answers right now. That's why I said I'm just gonna wait. Let's see how this all plays out before we kind of just start saying like, oh, this ain't gonna work, or that's not gonna work, or they should have did this, or they should have did that. I'm just gonna wait to see what Kidd decides to do. Because we rolled with him last year. Let's see what he do this year. Hopefully, Kidd can kind of grow also as a coach going into this next season the same way that we expect the players to grow. You know what I'm saying? So. Harold also says, what team with Sexton? He plays for Cleveland right now. He's still with Cleveland technically right now, being an unrestricted free agent. I'm sorry, restricted free agent. My bad. Frank says, I think it depends how good defensively Sexton plays. Jace Kidd ain't scared to bench anyone. If it's Sexton, it's a negative. Bench him, no matter how much he's getting paid.
Yeah, but that's a failure then, Frank. Which means if we got him, we're not getting. If we get Colin Sexton, guys, we're not going to get him for a 1-year contract year. We're going to give him a contract.
Yeah, we get a contract.
He's going to be a Dallas Maverick if we get Colin Sexton. So if he's a negative and you got to bench him, that means that's problems then.
Harold says starting 5: Sexton, Dodo. Oh, Luka, Sexton, Dodo, Reggie, and JaVale McGee. Listen.
No Christian Wood.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that.
You said no Wood. All right, Wood.
Yeah, no Wood. And they had Wood and Spencer off the bench.
THJ and Spencer and all off the bench. So that's fine, Harold. Again, I'll ask you guys, who finishes the game?
That's the question.
5 got to finish.
Johnny B said, I think the Mavs may need JaVale in some closing games because we lost a lot of games due to no rim protection.
And some close games we probably are, Johnny. You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's a weird situation. I'm just trying to figure out the closing 5 right now. It's going to be so many. I don't like that. Like I like when your lineups are like solidified, bro. I don't like the having to go back and forth and change lineups every other game and all that. I like when you have a solidified lineup that you can go to and know this is what we do to beat teams, and teams have to match us. With this lineup we have right now, if we have that, we're going to do a whole bunch of wishy-wash back and forth. And guys are going to go through cold spells and hot spells and stuff like that because of different situations we're putting them in, I feel like. And that scares me.
It's gonna probably be our last one here, King. Just want to answer this. Marco says, Luca, Hardy, Bullock, Dorian, Wood is my gamble in the regular season, but in the playoffs, we're gonna play Luca, THJ, Dodo, Wood, and McGee. I think THJ gonna stay coming off the bench though. I think he's gonna stay coming off the bench.
I think he fine with that too, knowing that he lost his role last year.
Yeah.
He want to make it up. It's like he feels like he has to do it. He owes the team something.
RC says they both do. Defensively, McGee is in. You call a timeout, and offensively, you put Wood in.
You can't keep playing that every.
Yeah, not every game because you're gonna start messing up certain rhythms too.
You can't just say timeout over and over again. Say the game isn't and dictated by you being able to do that. Say it's you trying to come back or something like that, or say you up by something, you're trying to keep the lead. Like you just keep subbing guys out. You gotta solidify. You gotta make some type of lineup.
I really think McGee is not going to be a problem at the end of games. I really do. I think he's going to be that guy. It's going to play about 14 minutes a game.
You just got to start. So I still wish they didn't say they were going to start McGee though.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
You got to start McGee. So the ending part isn't going to hurt JaVale McGee. Like that's not going to, I think, cause a rift. I think a rift is if he doesn't start now because you guaranteed him a starting position.
Yeah.
But still, even with JaVale McGee not playing, like Johnny B said, sometimes you're going to need JaVale McGee. You can't just say, well, you're never going to play. Sometimes Dwight Powell had to play end of games. Like it happens where you need that guy. So that's going to happen. But I'm still, even if our guy Christian Wood is the center and you got Dodo as your 4, you still have 3 positions where you have to have Luka Doncic. You got Spencer Dinwiddie, THJ, Reggie Bullock, and maybe Colin Sexton. That's 5 guys to fill 3 positions. That's all I'm saying. Ending the game, man. That's without JaVale McGee even playing. That's what I'm saying. Okay, JaVale, you don't even play at the end of the game.
Yeah, can't wait to preseason to see how this all turns out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna probably do it for us, y'all. Man, we definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us for the brand new another net episode of We Talk Mavs here on the Globe Mavs production. Listen, guys, if you enjoyed the Mav content, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys, so we can bring you more content. We'll be back here on Friday morning at 10 a.m. You guys already know how that works. And also, if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and hit that like button, guys. That'll help us build up our algorithm so that way we can get to more Mav fans just like you. More Mav fans that can join the Glow Yard gang, guys. Let me get these last 2 in, King. We'll probably go. Let's see. Frank said, don't y'all think that maybe it was more of KP's fault for how bad they played before KP was ball dominant with his bad post-ups? Yeah, definitely blamed him for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't a positive factor, but I don't know if he's the full fault.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a full fault, but he didn't help. He definitely didn't help.
Games and all too. So yeah.
Harold says, we not counting injury streak situations. We can rule out Reggie Bullock role on the team just yet.
I think he said I think he meant can't. We can't rule out.
Can't.
Yeah, Harold. I'm not ruling him out. Hey guys, I'm not ruling out Reggie Bullock. I'm just bringing up the questions before the situations come a hand. I'm not. Reggie is important. I am the biggest Reggie Bullock fan. You guys, come on. They're what we call them, the locksmiths and all that. Come on, I'm not. I love Reggie. I told y'all Reggie was huge. That's a huge piece of last year and all. I'm just telling y'all. I'm thinking of situations before they happen. We have 4 guys basically to fill up 2 positions because Luka's going to play point guard in the closing role. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. Like I said, guys, we will be can't get my words out. We will be back here on Friday, guys. Friday morning here at 10:30 a.m. You guys can join us then. Like I said, socials. There we go, at the bottom. Follow our socials, guys. You guys can follow us at We Talk Mavs on Twitter or We Talk _Mavs on Instagram. King said we're trying to work on getting a Facebook set up, guys. If you guys are on Facebook, you guys can follow us on there. We're gonna work on that too. Trying to hit all the socials, I guess. Also, guys, like I said before, you find in your heart to donate a little bit to the channel, guys. You got the Cash App down here at the bottom. That $ We Talk Mavs on Cash App. We definitely would appreciate that. Excuse me, King. Is there anything else I'm forgetting, man? Before we
share, and more share. And if you can't see our pretty faces on YouTube, please subscribe on all your favorite streaming platforms. We're on all of them, y'all. Our behind the scenes guy, Mr. Neil, he definitely takes care of us and make sure we're on there. If you could find it in yourself to just go over there and subscribe, you don't even got to donate. Just subscribe to us over there. Follow us on all your favorite streaming platforms. And if you could, though, if you could give a little something, we definitely appreciate it. And we'll definitely try our best to shout you out on the show if we could.
Yes, sir. And we're definitely working on kind of putting like shirts and stuff like that together too, guys.
Slowly but surely, yeah.
Slowly but surely, we're getting there, guys. We're definitely getting there. But with all that being said, guys, it is your boys Real and your boy King. We'll be back here Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Same map time, same map channel. Go Mavs.
Mavs.
Yes, sir.